The Marvelous Misadventures of Flapjack was a show that aired around 2007. I feel the show is pretty decent as it is. It had a few flaws which will turn people off of it, but all in all, I feel it's worth viewing. The show shared a lot of similarities to another show that aired at the time called Chowder. Both shows used varying animation styles in the shows, such as stop motion, in addition to their traditional animation. Though I feel Chowder is a better show in general, Flapjack has more of an interesting setting and an interesting premise that would appear to lend itself well to a story arc. But for some reason, the writers never went for this. Easily my favorite character in the show would be Captain Knuckles, which you can see I'm working on some fan art in the background. He is lazy, selfish, and a washed-up has-been of an adventurer who is kind of a jerk. But somehow he still remains likable to me. His voice actor does a good job portraying him, but he is an extremely flawed character, and as such, probably will turn off a lot of people. There are quite a few issues with the show. The biggest would be the fact that the opening constantly reminds you that Knuckles and Flapjack desire to go to Candied Island. And since this is brought up in the intro every time, you would think it would be a crucial plot point. But no. Very few episodes even mention this, and the ones that do typically only do so because something was discovered that allegedly will get them to Candied Island. And if I'm not mistaken, only 2 episodes out of the 3 seasons even have them actively searching for Candied Island. This seems like a major missed opportunity for the show in my opinion. This show would have worked well with being a continuity-heavy show with a story arc and dynamic characters. This is partially why I feel Chowder worked better on its own merits. Chowder knew exactly what he wanted to do. He wanted to cook, and almost every episode revolved around cooking. But that premise doesn't really need to be continuity strong. It just needed to be funny, and sometimes the show was. But just as a side note, a common complaint with the show Flapjack is that its main character, Flapjack, is overly annoying. But upon rewatching the show, this wasn't a big issue past season 1. It seems in the later seasons they toned it down a great bit. But if I were tasked with rewriting the show, I would probably shift the focus more on Knuckles rather than Flapjack, and have the show be more about adventuring to new places in search of Candied Island, meeting new and interesting characters, all the while finding clues to the whereabouts of Candied Island. Since the focus would be shifted on Knuckles, I would probably make him a jerk in the beginning of the series as he is in the show, but as the show went on, I'd probably have him develop into more of a caring, father-like figure to Flapjack while retaining his appearance of being a jerk on the outside. But in closing, keep in mind these are my opinions, and never really were intended to be stated as fact. The show is okay as it is, but I just feel it could have been so much more. Anyway, thanks for watching, and have a great day.